We are just moments away from the Division 1A semifinal between the Bridgewater-Raynham Trojans and the Weymouth Wildcats. I am John Luck with Skip Crossman and Brian Berard. We've already talked about the loss of Nick Schlatt, but let's take a look at this Weymouth Wildcat team. This team is 11-0, number 7 in the state. Brian, there are two brothers that pretty much make up most of this Wildcat offense.
Oh yeah, the Colarusso twins, Dylan and Austin. Dylan has 144 of the team's points this year with 24 touchdowns on the year, including 4 against Brookline. He definitely watch out for him in this game. He's a top-notch running back. He's top in the state. Definitely he's my player to watch for tonight's game.
All right, now Skip, we watched during the pre-games. This offensive line for the Wildcats is very powerful. From what we saw, they can make a very big hole for the running backs to squeeze through. So how much of a size disadvantage is there between Weymouth and BR?
You know, the speed matters tonight. The quickness to the ball, quickness to make the first tackle. And Bridgewater-Raynham is a very good gang tackling team. They get a lot of guys over to the play quick and in a hurry. So if speed can beat size, you know, tonight will be a pure test there. Look for Bridgewater-Raynham to have swarming tackles and really come out and set the tone on defense. They're kicking off to start the game.
Mike Chicoine getting ready to kick things off for the BR Trojans. In the backfield for the Weymouth Wildcats, Ozzy Colarusso and Sean Woolley.
You know, the Colarussos combined for 240 of their 409 points. Said something.
This team is one of the most highest scoring offenses in all of Eastern Massachusetts. And we will have a chance to see them play as they take on the BR Trojans in the semifinal. We are underway from Bridgewater. This one's going to bounce to the 20. This one's going to go to John Hachey, and he gets stopped at the 26.
See, exactly on that play. 45 kind of took the ball. He didn't look like he had a real plan of attack. Ran up along the sideline. One guy touched him, and 3 guys hammered him.
So now we have a chance to see Mitch Temple, the quarterback, the senior quarterback for the Weymouth Wildcats. And Temple is not a bad quarterback. He comes in only second in the state behind Doug Crook with 17 touchdown passes in Division 1A.
Yeah, that's pretty good company to be with. Crook from Barnstable, we've seen him play.
And what definitely helps him out is that the fact that he has a great running game. That can really help you out a lot.
High formation for the Wildcats. Here the pitch back to Hachey, and Hachey has an open gap, and he will get taken down to the 42. Sorry, that's actually Dylan Colarusso.
First down.
Dylan Colarusso leads the two brothers with the touchdowns. He has 24, while Austin only has 16.
Only. You know, 16, only one less than the leading scorer for Bridgewater-Raynham, Nick Schlatt.
Same formation for the Wildcats. Khary Bailey-Smith is on the near side. Going to send Cam McLeverage in the backfield.
Procedure. Looks like they have a procedure. Usually when they blow that whistle fast and stop the play, only 2 things can be. A shift on offense, a procedure on offense, or a defense coming across the neutral zone and touching the offensive player. If the defensive player is just in the neutral zone, they let the play run.
False start called against the Wildcats. Going to set them back 5 yards. We'll bring up a 1st and 15 as we approach 9 minutes to play in this first quarter. Weymouth, the offensive juggernaut, outscoring their opponents this season by a combined score of 406 to 94. It's not a bad differential for points. 1st and 15.
Back to pass.
Temple sets back, gets it off to Colarusso, and Colarusso is knocked out at the 48. So you see that the Colarusso brothers aren't the big running backs, but they are also very good at catching the screen passes.
Yeah, Austin Colarusso, 5'11", 180. He's no giant out there, but he was wide open on that play.
Gain of 8, it'll be 2nd and 2.
2nd down and 2 for the Wildcats in this first quarter.
From the 47-yard line.
Colarusso on the near side. Hand off to Dylan Colarusso, and Colarusso gets stopped at the line of scrimmage.
He's still fighting for yardage. He gained another yard after he met contact from Bridgewater-Raynham, but it's going to set up a 3rd down. 3rd and about a yard.
For the Trojans, number 78.
That was good pursuit up front by the BR defensive line. Like Skip said, they're pretty good at gang tackling. That's a strong suit of BR.
Mark McDonald was in on the stop for the Trojans. 3rd down and a yard to go.
They come out with these 2 wide set. Khary Bailey-Smith on the top and Colarusso to the bottom here. Back to pass.
Temple sets back. This one's going to get caught by Bailey-Smith, and Smith gets taken out at the 33. We talk about the offensive presence that Nick Schlatt's had, but he's also grown into more of a defensive player. So do we see a little bit of a defensive loss when the quarterbacks go out back for a pass?
Yeah, Ryan Newton was beaten on that play, and he came up trying to make a jarring tackle and knock the ball loose, but he didn't do it. Ball spotted on the 34-yard line of Bridgewater-Raynham.
Well, under 8 minutes to go in this first quarter. Temple pitches off to Colarusso. Colarusso to the near side. Colarusso still on his feet, taken down at the 26.
That's but the first point of attack there was somewhere around the 30-yard line where the Bridgewater-Raynham player had him corralled, and they tried to push him out of bounds, and Colarusso had none of that. He just bowled over the BR defender.
Second down and 3 to go. Wildcats on their first offensive drive of the night. Bailey-Smith on the far side. Ozzy Colarusso on the near side. Here's a handoff to Dylan. And Dylan Colarusso will get forward progress. Now we got to see where they spot the ball. It looks like it'll be at the 21.
First down.
And that is another Wildcat first down. It'll be
the ball spotted on the 21-yard line of Bridgewater-Raynham.
Wildcats from the 21-yard line.
Another first down and 10. They're going to go with 2 receivers on the far side. Bailey-Smith and Colarusso. Here's a handoff to Dylan again. Takes it up the gut and gets stopped at the, looks like they'll spot at the 17-yard line. Making a point before the game of how Weymouth is undefeated at 11-0, but you take a look at some of the teams they faced, and they're not exactly the quote-unquote cream of the crop. Combined, the records of all the teams that Weymouth has faced, 55 and 66. That's 11 games below 500. Bridgewater-Raynham, combined record of all the teams they faced, 67 and 50, 17 games above 500, with 2 of those teams that the Trojan faced already in the playoffs.
And also, the league that they play in, the Bay State League, it's in 2 different divisions, I believe.
2nd and 6, Temple rolls back, looks
Wide open.
downfield.
Touchdown.
Khary Bailey-Smith gets the scoring started for the Wildcats, and Weymouth has an early 6-0 lead.
Yeah, that's a mismatch there with Ryan Newton. He just doesn't have the size. Number 15 for Bridgewater-Raynham, and Khary Bailey-Smith just was, had the height advantage on that play. $21 yards. I'm sorry, about 15 yards on that play.
Point after attempt on the way. This kick coming from Ozzy Colarusso. Snap good, hold good, and the PAT is good. So 6:26 in this first quarter left to go. Weymouth on top, 7-0. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if Weymouth is really a team I want to get into an offensive track meet with. Going to take a look at this replay, and Temple has more than enough time to find an open receiver, and who better to find than Khary Bailey-Smith in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, when he leaped, he was a clear foot above Ryan Newton, the BR defender, and had position too, so they had a disadvantage on that play. And it looks like something they'll be looking for throughout the game too. He has a size advantage on the wing. Touchdown
reception number 11 on the season altogether for Bailey-Smith. That's 3rd in the state.
And it looks like pretty much that whole drive when they gave the ball to Dylan Colarusso, he pretty much brought some defenders with him, so he definitely fought for some extra yardage.
Usual three in the backfield for the Trojans, DeLulis, McCall, and Branden Morin. As Bailey-Smith kicks things off for the Wildcats. It's going to be Brad DeLulis. DeLulis to the 20. DeLulis to the 35.
Right up the middle.
DeLulis finds an open hole. Taken down at the Weymouth 43.
About a 43-yard run back on that play for Brad DeLulis. So much for the...
Let's take a look at Brad DeLulis. He has become such a very key part of the Trojans' kick return game, and he found one big open hole. As we look at the end of the highlight here, there's one big hole for DeLulis to run through around the 50-yard line. That's how he got the extra 7 yards. Receiver on the far side. DeLulis in motion. He gets the handoff. And DeLulis will be stopped for a loss. Taken down at the 50-yard line, I believe is where they're going to spot this one. All right, let's take a look at this replay again that DeLulis had such a key block on. It's been the big thing for this team this year, guys, how a punt return has such a big gap open. Perhaps another couple of blocks, DeLulis could be having a touchdown return.
Well, the game-saving tackle was made by the kicker, Khary Bailey-Smith, so it tells you something. He had one man to beat.
2nd and 14, 5.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Same formation for the Trojans. DeLulis going to be sent in motion. Zolga, play action, looks downfield.
Wide open.
O'Donnell gets a reception on the near side. BR gets the first touchdown of their night on the second play of the drive.
You can tell that defense definitely bid on that play action because O'Donnell was wide open.
It's the second time they ran that same formation. DeLulis coming across the line. And on that play, Sean O'Donnell went down left. He was wide open. There wasn't a player within 10 yards of him, and he had enough of an advantage speed-wise to make it into the end zone.
Once again, BR running this strange two-point conversion formation that they've been running the past few games.
And so it looks like it's actually, or it looks like it was going to be a PAT.
Yeah, they call it like a swinging gate. They set some linemen out to try to get the defenders all screwed up, and then they come back into a regular formation where Chicoine's going to kick.
Perhaps it's a little bit too early for the two-point conversion. Chicoine has tied the game at 7.
So unofficially, I have that as a 48-yard touchdown pass from Zolga. You know, a catch and run, obviously, with Sean O'Donnell. He picked it up near around the 20-yard line, so it's 28 yards in the air, and Sean O'Donnell had another 20 yards to gain and did it in a quick fashion. So we've only chewed another minute 13 off the clock, and BR's come back and match the score for the Weymouth Wildcats.
We have seen this season that Zolga likes to hand the ball off a lot, but when he gets the passes downfield, he only attempts usually about 6 or 7 a game. When he gets the ball downfield, it's usually to Sean O'Donnell, and it's usually reception.
But usually with their running game that they had, that play action, they've used that pretty much all season. That's worked out really good, especially with the tremendous running backs that they have.
Yeah, the run sets the pass for sure, and you know, besides Sean O'Donnell, you know, you've got a number of other players, Sean McCall, Brett Stewart, and a few others that are capable receivers, again with Brad DeLulis. So.
Uli and Ozzy Colarusso in the backfield. Chicoine gets a nice clean kick.
Strong kick.
Uli going to take this at the 11. Uli to the 25, and he'll get wrapped up and stopped at the 29.
Going back to that drive from BR, the entire game, the entire pregame show we talked about is the explosive offense of Weymouth. But their defense is still top-notch. They've only given up 74 points on the year, I believe, and they had 4 shutouts. So not only did they have a tremendous offense, they had an awesome defense, too, this year.
On average, Weymouth gives up 8.5 points a game. That's definitely not a bad point total to be given up.
Yeah, 94 points allowed during the regular season.
Same split receiver formation for the Wildcats. Looks like Dylan Colarusso in the backfield. Here's the pitch to Colarusso.
He stopped.
And Colarusso might have gotten a yard, if that.
Looks like he got about 2 yards on that play.
On the stop initially,
It was Mark McDonald on the tackle there. It was great penetration for him to actually get him in the backfield. But once again, just like the last drive, Dillon was able to, he's been able to drag some defenders with him fighting for the extra yard, and that's going to be crucial in this game.
2nd and 8.
Second down and 8 yards to go.
Come on, defense. Come on, Mark. Do it again.
Bailey-Smith on the far side. Colarusso in the backfield. Temple rolls back. Looks downfield.
Oh.
Nearly picked off by Brett Stewart.
Should have been picked off. Shows how accurate the pass was. Nobody could get near it. Maybe that was intended too. He didn't have an open receiver and decided to throw it long, but that was well within Brett Stewart's reach.
So it brings up a 3rd down and 8. So do we look for Mitch Temple's arm again on this play?
I say they're going to run some more, see what happens.
Bailey-Smith on the far side, Ozzy Colarusso on the near side. Temple play action, rolls out to the far side, looks downfield, and missed his aimed receiver, Cam McLevich.
Boy, he was covered too. 2BR number 27 for Bridgewater-Raynham, Cody Wood and number 17, Brett Stewart were along with 51 on that play. Billy Buckley really snuffed it out.
So Wildcats go 3 and out.
First 3 and out of the game for either team.
Well, that's going to be something that we'll be saying a lot of tonight with the possibility of 2 high-powered offenses going head-to-head.
Oh, it's a shank. He shanked that putt. Oh, boy.
Someone might have got his fingertips on that punt right there.
I thought it just went off the side of his foot. Didn't look like there was any interference there. Ball looks like it went out just near the 49-yard line, where Bridgewater-Raynham will start up with good field position.
So second straight drive. Of course, they've only had 2 drives, but the second drive that the Trojans have started already in Weymouth territory without even making a play. Let's take a look at this replay and see if it looks. It looks like it was a shanked kick. If
off the side of his foot.
Maybe it's enough to get it out of the red zone of the Wildcats.
I'm sure that wasn't the intention of the punter at the time. 4:06 to go.
High formation. Here's the pitch back to Morin. And Morin was riding line of scrimmage, but he'll get a loss about 1 or 2. Some of the fans are trying to call for a flag.
Well, they're saying the whistle was blown, and after the whistle was blown, Morin was thrown down to the ground. Not a big deal, but if they throw him down out of bounds with any kind of an intent to injure, you'll see a personal foul being thrown.
Second and 9 for the Trojans.
Saw Bradley Lewis and Sean McCall coming into the huddle, 2 of the Trojans receivers. McCall on the near side and DeLulis on the far side. Zolga sets back to DeLulis, and DeLulis still on his feet. DeLulis taken out at the 36.
He just spun away from number 9 and gained another 7 or 8 yards to make a not so great play, a great play.
So you take a look and see what Skip's talking about here. As DeLulis, it looked like he was going to get tackled there, but
yeah, he was shy of the first down by 4 yards and just spun away and gained another 6. Good second effort by Brad DeLulis.
Split receivers again. DeLulis on the near side. Zolga with a handoff to Chicoine, and Chicoine gets a gain of about 2 or 3. And Brian, we were talking about Mike Chicoine earlier for the game and how he's good for a good 3 or 4 yard gain, but can Mike Chicoine become a big running back?
Well, definitely he does have the potential. They're definitely going to use him in some goal line and short yard situations. He's my player to watch for tonight's game. I mean, not only is he their short yard running back, he's their linebacker, he's also the team's kicker, so he plays 3 different positions, so he definitely has potential to become that big running back.
Second and 7 for the Trojans.
Second down and 7 yards to go. Under 2.5 to play in this first quarter. Zolga with the pitch to Morin. Morin finds an open hole.
Oh,
Morin still on his feet, taken down at the 18-yard line.
Gain of 25 yards on that play.
That was good blocking up front by that offensive line.
I'm sorry, 18 yards on that play.
From the 19-yard line.
Khary Bailey-Smith making sure that Morin gets by. He's taking Smith's arms with him. Two receivers on the far side, McCall and DeLulis. O'Donnell in motion. Hand off Morin. Morin still on his feet, and Morin inside the 5-yard line.
Gain of 14 yards on that play. Bridgewater-Raynham's ground game is in high gear right now.
Down at the 4-yard line with a minute and a half remaining in the first.
Once again, that was tremendous blocking up front. These offensive lines just open up huge holes for Morin to be running through.
5-yard line.
1:15 to go. McCall on the near side, O'Donnell in motion again.
Some movement
Zolga, hand off Morin. Morin's done it all this drive, so why not give him the touchdown?
There's also an offside on the defense there.
Yeah, the defense came into the neutral zone, and Zolga alertly snapped the ball or called for the ball, and penalty be declined. That's one of those plays where it's a free play for the offense if there's no contact made.
So you take a look at this replay again, and Morin, as Brian was pointing out earlier, the offensive line is such a big asset for the Trojans this season.
Yeah, they've opened some tremendous holes there, both on the left and right side. When they shift Sean O'Donnell to a new position, they shift him one end of the line. That's the side they're running on, and they run with some success.
Trojans going to go for two here, looking to try and increase their lead. Zolga to Morin, and Morin gets in untouched.
Well, I tell you, that was a nice move by Branden Morin. He spun, he got hit at the line, spun in, and went in really without much contest at all.
58 seconds remain in the first quarter with the Bridgewater-Raynham Trojans 15, the Weymouth Wildcats 7.
15-7. The Trojans on top of the Wildcats, with the winner of this game advancing to take on either Lincoln, Sudbury, or Gloucester.
Yeah, we've had four series here already. Two by the Wildcats and two by the Trojans. Wildcats had that long sustained drive, using up about 4 minutes, ending with a touchdown by pass to Khary Smith, and then Bridgewater-Raynham coming back on that quick hitting drive with that long pass to O'Donnell. You know, four series in one quarter. That's a lot of football.
58 seconds left to go in this first quarter. As Chicoine gets ready for yet another kickoff to the Weymouth Wildcats. One's going to be to Sean Woolley. And Woolley gets out to the 25 before being stopped at the 29-yard line.
Yes, a run of about 19 yards on that play. Good gang tackling by Bridgewater-Raynham, the hallmark. That's what they're noted for on defense.
It's now Weymouth on their third offensive drive of the night, looking to try and get some sort of score, try and keep up with the Trojans.
From the 30-yard line.
Colarusso on the near side, Bailey-Smith on the far side, and Dylan Colarusso in the backfield for Weymouth. Temple rolls out to the far side, looks downfield. This one's going to be the Bailey-Smith. Smith still on his feet, taken down at midfield by Branden Morin.
Sean McCall was a defender on the play, and he lost his footing, and Bailey-Smith gained another 5 yards, 10 yards beyond that play.
That is a Weymouth
Ball spotted on the 49-yard line of Weymouth. That was a 29-yard catch and run.
From their own 49-yard line.
Clock ticks down to 40 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Temple rolls back to the near side, looks downfield. Ozzy Colarusso gets the reception, taken out at the 43-yard line.
Ozzy Colarusso brought down by number 7, Brad Delula.
Tula's credited with the tackle for BR.
It'll be 2nd and 2.
Bridgewater-Raynham needs to dig in here and stop Weymouth at the end of the first quarter here. See if they get another 3 and out.
Temple pitches back to Dylan Colarusso, and he'll get the first down and a lot more yardage. Colarusso to the 30, Colarusso to the 25.
Branden Morin that knocked him out of bounds there.
26-yard run for Dylan Colarusso on that play. So 2 big strike plays, a 29-yard pass to Bailey-Smith and a 26-yard run by Dylan Colarusso. Wildcats are in high gear right now with 22 seconds to go in the quarter.
Definitely something that the BR defense does not want to try and play around with the Weymouth offense. Temple sets back, looks downfield. This one's going to be caught by Khary Bailey-Smith, and Smith gets taken down at the 9-yard line. Clock stops at 12 seconds.
Yeah, the corners are giving a little cushion to Bailey-Smith, and we've seen both Ryan Newton, Sean McCall, and now at that time they had Brad DeLulos covering them. So look for Dan Vuron to come up with some kind of adjustment at halftime to have those corners a little bit tighter on Khary Bailey-Smith, who's been the offensive threat so far in the game for the Wildcats.
When it comes to getting around Greater Boston, the T is the greatest value.
Yeah, you can save big compared to ride shares. I mean, there's no surge pricing, there's no tipping. How about no traffic stress?
You can park at any of the MBTA's lots and garages, and it's easy and affordable.
Just tap your phone and go. It's fast, modern, and convenient.
From Aquarium Station, explore Faneuil Hall, the Greenway and Carousel, and Christopher Columbus Park.
Or hop on an MBTA ferry for a scenic trip into the city.
Less stress, more savings, convenience at its finest. That's the T.
So many reasons to get on board.
Ball spotted on the 10-yard line?
All spotted on the 10-yard line for the Wildcats. It's going to be first down and goal. Temple sets back, very quick snap, nearly intercepted by Sean McCall.
It seems that when Temple is throwing those short crossing routes, he's having trouble connecting. When he's going long and deep, when he's done on both sides of the field today, mostly to Khary Bailey-Smith, he's had some success with those crossing patterns. He's a little bit off the mark.
Second down and goal.
Second and goal for the Wildcats.
Temple again with a quick drop back. Looks for Bailey-Smith. Nearly caught, but it's going to be out of bounds.
Well out of bounds. There was some contact there with Sean McCall. That no flag was thrown, so the referees obviously thought it was an incidental play or an incidental contact. No need for a flag, but that ball was thrown well out of bounds.
Skip, just like you said, he's having some trouble here with these short routes. You are almost wondering if it's just the timing, if he doesn't have time to get his feet set, time to get his hand on the laces, because we've just seen 2 straight short passes, and he's been way off.
Well, Mitch Temple has a chance on this third down and goal. Temple. That is a very awkward play. The ball got slapped back to Temple, and he has a little bonus, so he'll get the sack.
Well, he got the sack, but he also lost about 7 yards on the play. He dropped back to make the pass. The pass was batted by a BR defender right back into Temple's hands. He probably would have been better off to let that thing drop to the ground and suffer the loss. That loss of about 7 on the play. So it's first and goal, third and 17 to go.
It's actually going to be
fourth down, sorry.
fourth down. So do we look for a field goal here, or you're down already by 8? So do you go for it on this fourth down?
I don't know. I haven't seen a kicker. I don't see a tee out there, so it looks like they're going for it.
Ball on the 17-yard line. 2 receivers on the far side, Colarusso and Khary Bailey-Smith. Temple rolls out to the far side. Looks downfield, has more than enough time.
Nowhere near. The closest player on that play was Brad DeLulis. He was within 4 yards of catching that ball, but he was the closest player on either team.
I definitely think a factor was that it was on the 17-yard line, but it was also considered a 4th and goal. So not like a 4th and 9. You didn't have a certain amount of yards to go for, and then reset.
I mean, he had to throw it up, and probably the mindset there was don't go short where it can be intercepted. Throw it away so nobody can catch it. But it shows what that BR line, that pressure from the BR defensive line is doing. It's causing Mitch Temple to have a little bit of inconsistency here earlier on in the game. So with 8:45, the Trojans will take over from their own 17.
Call on the far side, and the Trojans patented I formation. Here's a handoff to Morin. Morin gets stopped at the 23.
Gain of about 6 on the play. Bridgewater-Raynham will take that every time. So right now we see Branden Morin filling in. You know, it's not the same as Nick Schlatt's, but granted he's getting 6, 7, 8 yards at a run. And he's no negative yardage. That's the important thing.
Last week, during the Thanksgiving game, I called Schlatt and Morin not a bad plan A and B situation. Well, plan B, in this case, Branden Morin is not doing a bad job for himself so far tonight. Second down and about 4 yards to go. Zolga gets the handoff. Looks like maybe for a small gain.
John, to go back to your point, Branden Morin, he's still an explosive running back. He's had some 40-plus yard TD runs. So, I mean, even though they don't have Nick Schlatt, Branden Morin is still a viable second option. So, it's what, like you said, it's no Nick Schlatt, but he's pretty close.
You see Steve Wentworth running on that play there. Steve Wentworth was the Bridgewater-Raynham player in the scrimmage I did earlier this year when they played Brockton. Wentworth went out with a shoulder injury. And we haven't seen him much throughout the season, but it looks like he's rehabbed a little bit enough to play here. And hopefully he can, along with Branden Morin, fill the void that Nick Schlatt has left.
Third down and 3. Zolga gets a handoff to Morin. Morin still on his feet. Morin takes a host of Weymouth Wildcat defenders down with him.
You got to be impressed with that run by Branden Morin. He not only got hit 2 or 3 times, but he had the presence of mind to really hold that ball like it was holding on for dear life.
And Morin's favoring his ribs. Let's see here. It looks like he goes through a human pinball machine. Let's be honest here.
Hit once, twice, spins again. He's hit 4 times on that play, And that's the problem when you're running and spinning. You're not protecting yourself. You leave a lot of your chest and mid area are open to, helmets and shoulders and everything else. So you are vulnerable when you're running like that. But great presence of mind for another BR first down.
That fourth hit was the one that did it to Morin, as he had the ball closer to his helmet to make sure that he didn't spin out of a carry and try and lose the ball for a fumble. But it looks like Morin is going to stay in the game here. If you lose Morin, you're pretty much up a creek without a paddle. You have Wentworth and Chicoine. They're great running backs, let's be honest, but Branden Morin has definitely gotten the job done tonight. Morin responsible for 8 of the Trojans' points.
On that drive there, Branden Morin unofficially 23 yards on those 2 plays. Bridgewater-Raynham has the ball. It's on the 37. So it'll be 12 and 6, 18 yards on those 2 plays.
Toulouse in motion. Handoff to Chicoine. Mike Chicoine dodges the tackle, and he'll get taken down at the 44-yard line.
Here's your answer about Mike Chicoine. He leaped over one player, one defender, and gained 7 on the play.
These running backs for BR are doing a pretty good job. They're getting first contact, and they're shoving it away, and they're keeping their balance, and they're going to keep going. They're doing a pretty good job all night.
little bit of housekeeping here in the booth. We're trying to get some heat in, and all of a sudden we've got condensation on the windows.
2nd down and 3. McCall on the far side, and DeLulis going to be sent in motion. Zolga play action, sets back, looks downfield. Mike Chicoine gets reception, and Chicoine takes the Trojans into Weymouth territory, but we have a flag on the play.
Unofficially 12 yards on that pass to Mike Chicoine.
Looks like it's going to be hands to the face.
Should be okay, it's a block in the back on Bridgewater-Raynham, so. Sean O'Donnell.
Sean O'Donnell going to be accredited with the personal foul.
Yeah, I mean, and really kind of an unnecessary play because Chicoine had a first down and had gained enough yards on the play already, and Sean O'Donnell just being a little over aggressive there and got called for the block in the back.
Perhaps the only credit here is the fact that Chicoine caught the ball downfield, so now you're still looking at 2nd down and 2.
You're right back where you were. You were second and 3 after the first run by Chicoine, and so fortunately with the block in the back was brought it back. So BR is really 2nd and 2. They actually gained a yard from that 2nd down yardage.
High formation, McCall on the far side. Zolga hands off to Morin, and Morin looks like he might have gotten it.
Yeah, he's got a first down. Just enough for the first down. So Chicoine's not going to be denied. He had a first down on the pass. And Morin comes back now, goes ahead and gets enough for the first down. And keeps BR with control of the ball with 5:24 to go.
5.5 minutes remaining in this first half. The Bridgewater-Raynham Trojans on top of the Weymouth Wildcats 15-7, an 8-point lead. Trojans looking to increase that margin. DeLuis in motion. Zolga, play action again, looks downfield. Zolga was getting rushed by, it looked like it was Dylan Colarusso.
Yeah, he had some pressure that time, and the pass to DeLulis was just a little too much for DeLulis to rein in.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Trojans from their own 48-yard line.
Trojans still on their own side of the field at the 48-yard line.
So 2nd down and just under 10 to go for the Trojans, 4:53 in the period.
DeLuis sent in motion. Zolga, handoff Morin. Morin stopped in the backfield for a rather big loss. Looks like a loss of 5, maybe 6. And perhaps Weymouth has grasped the concept that Morin's going to be getting the ball for the Trojans.
Looks like Rob Barris, the fullback, playing both ways for the Wildcats, made the stop on that play right at the line of scrimmage and drove him back for a 2-yard loss.
Ref's going to call forward progress, so it's going to be 3rd and 12. Let's take a look at this carry by Branden Morin.
It's a loss of 2. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Morin tried to take out the middle one too many times, and he gets stopped. 3rd down and 12 for the Trojans. The Weymouth crowd getting behind their Wildcats. Zolga sets back, fakes it, looks downfield. McCall underneath, gets the reception. McCall to the 10. McCall to the end zone.
Once again, that receiver not only biting on the play action, but it was the pump fake.
Excellent play, excellent action by Billy Zolga. He pumped once. Sean McCall was right near the defender, and then just got enough of a cushion.
McCall had a pretty big touchdown Thanksgiving morning against the Brockton Boxers, and he has a pretty big touchdown tonight against the Weymouth Wildcats. as
That was a
Chicoine
54-yard play, 34 in the pass and 20 more on the run by Sean McCall.
Chicoine's kick goes to the upright, 22-7.
So we're seeing the offense, the point scoring spread out here. O'Donnell, then you had Morin going in, and now you have Sean McCall. 3 different scorers so far in the game for Bridgewater-Raynham.
"22 unanswered points for the Trojans. And we are definitely seeing the high-octane offense of the BR Trojans here, as Zolga shows that he only needs 2 or 3 passes to get to the end zone.
Well, what we said before, who was the replacement for Schlatt? It looks like it's going to be 3 or 4 guys that are going to do it today. Everybody contributing. McCall, DeLulis, O'Donnell, Morin, and Chicoine. Everybody contributing here. So not real, and the arm of Billy Zolga. Give him a lot of credit for those two long passes. Last one, 54 yards unofficially.
Ozzy Colarusso and Khary Bailey-Smith, I believe, is in the backfield for the Wildcats. Chicoine kicks it off, and it's a high kick, but not a far kick. It's going to take a Wildcat bounce, and it's going to be spotted at the 32.
See, once that goes 10 yards, that's a free ball. And why the Wildcats aren't pouncing on it or kicking it out of bounds, I have no idea. Not a heady play on their part. Bridgewater-Raynham, Dan Buron's looking to see if the ball was controlled by Bridgewater-Raynham, but they're going to say it was kicked out of bounds.
Looks like BR almost did catch it.
They did. They almost had it down there near around the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I think someone actually touched that ball.
Yeah, they can't have an illegal touch because once it goes 10 yards, it's a free ball. So I don't know what the flag is for. They're waving it off, exactly. If it goes between the 40 and the 50 and an offensive player touches before it goes 10 yards, then you have a flag for an illegal touch. But once it's gone that 10 yards, it's a free ball. Anybody can touch it. So I was kind of curious what that flag was for, and now it explained it. They waved it off.
So Mitch Temple has 3:49 left in this first half to try and lead his Weymouth offense downfield, try and get some points on the board before the halftime break.
Actually, we've seen a few kickoffs this year from BR where they've actually kicked it into that dead zone and tried to recover it, and they've come close pretty few times.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt them right now because the last 2 times Weymouth has started off, they started out near the 29-yard line. They've got the ball on the 30, and Bridgewater-Raynham almost had a chance to recover it.
Smith on the near side and Colarusso on the far side. Temple sets back, goes to the far side, and catch made by Ozzy Colarusso, and it's going to be good enough for a Wildcat first down.
The pass is complete to number 5, Ozzy Colarusso, and that is a Wildcat first down.
Same exact formation for the Wildcats.
Gain of about 14 on that play.
Wide receiver split. Temple with a handoff to Dylan Colarusso, and Colarusso had a very large gap to try and run through, and Colarusso finally gets stopped at the 46.
Previous play was 12 yards. That's another 12-yard run. That was a 12-yard catch by Ozzy Colarusso. And now Dylan comes up with another 12-yard gain.
And all this getting done in about 22 seconds.
That was just a simple draw play, and the offensive line created a huge hole up the middle for Colarusso to shoot right through.
A third first down 10 on this drive for the Wildcats. 3:10 left to play in the second quarter. Temple rolls out, looks downfield, and Smith will get the catch, and he'll get knocked out at the 35.
Good spread offense here. The Wildcats sending their receivers near the sideline where they can quickly go out of bounds if they don't have a chance to run it down. They can get out of bounds and stop the clock. Plenty of time, 3:04. They started this drive at 3:53. So they've used 49 seconds. It's their third first down.
And I believe Dan Biron's trying to ask referees to
They're going to have a measurement.
check the measurement.
So hold on. May not be a first down.
First down or not, you have to credit Weymouth with the quote-unquote hurry-up offense that they showed, stopping the clock 3 times, and you're looking at about a 60-yard gain in about 30 seconds or so.
It looks short from my vantage point. Yeah, just about a half a foot.
Once again, the winner of this game will take on the winner of the Lincoln-Sudbury-Gloucester game, and we could be looking at a rematch of the Super Bowl, but of course to get there we have to have the Trojans win and the Fishermen win. Game would take place Saturday night at Gillette Stadium. Second and inches. In the backfield you have Colarusso. Temple sets back, looks downfield. Ozzy Colarusso underneath. And Colarusso gets taken out at the 4-yard line.
That pass, Temple was right on the money.
Trojans usually good about having double coverage on throwing plays, but Colarusso looks like such a good vision of where the ball is going to be.
Yeah, you can tell he and Temple have played a full season together.
Spread offense. Here's a handoff to Dylan Colarusso. And Colarusso does a lot of east to west moving, but gets a gain of about 1 or 2 on the play.
You know, on Weymouth's drive, they went for 3 first downs, gains of 12, 12, 9, and 29.
Branden Morin.
Still with 2:33 to go.
Although they've been getting these big yard gains, usually when you get into the red zone, the defense is much more compact, so you're not going to see these huge runs and these huge passes because the defense is such a small area.
Here's a handoff to Dylan Colarusso.
He's there. He's in.
Colarusso gets in.
He just snuck in.
On the score, Dylan Colarusso for the Wildcats.
So we see Ozzy Colarusso coming in.
Ozzy Colarusso.
Snap good, hold good, and Weymouth gets their 14-point on the board. So it's a 1-possession game still as we have a little over 2 minutes remaining to go in this first half.
Pretty efficient offense by the Weymouth Wildcats. They took the ball with 3:53. There's 2:09 left to go. So a minute and 44 seconds. They put 7 points up on the board.
Yeah, the hurry-up offense is very effective, so definitely look for Weymouth to go back to that if they do have some struggles in the second half.
So Khary Bailey-Smith going to kick things off to McCall, Morin, and DeLulis in the backfield.
See if Bridgewater-Raynham can get a decent run back here with 2:09 to go and give their offense another shot at the end zone.
DeLulis did have a pretty good return on the last kickoff. Smith kicks this one right to DeLulis. DeLulis takes this one from the 10. And DeLulis has a little bit of room to try and squeeze through. DeLulis to the 40. DeLulis still on his feet. Taken down at the 45.
Awesome play, 35-yard run back by Brad DeLulis. And he not only went 35 yards up the field, he went almost across the field too, so another 40 yards side to side.
So the BR offense has a minute 58 to try and get some points on the board before halftime as we take a look at DeLuis's return. Almost like I really don't feel like going this way, so I'll take the extra long route to get the extra 10 yards or so.
So that's the Trojans up in good field position. Ball in the 46 with a minute 58 to go.
McCall on the near side along with DeLulis. Trojans will send their tight end Sean O'Donnell in motion. Here's the handoff to Branden Morin. Morin, I believe, is going to be called for forward progress, so
You had Steve Wentworth kicking one of the defenders out, thinking that Morin was going to follow him out, and Morin turned it up into a host of Wildcat tacklers. Trojans will take a timeout here.
First Trojans timeout of the game. It comes with a minute 39 left to go in the first half.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the results of the 50-50 raffle.
Of course, Weymouth comes in winners of the Bay State Conference in the Khary division. BR comes in off a clean sweep of the OCL. Brian, we took a look at both schedules. Which one looked more tedious to try and compete against to get to this point?
Well, I'd say they're kind of both the same. I mean, the OCL this year really wasn't a strong suit. Taunton, they only had one win this year, and that was against Coyle Cassidy on Thanksgiving. Dartmouth didn't really have too good of a year this year. However, this Bay State League, it's in two different divisions. There's the Khary division, that's in Division 1A, and there's another set to it in a different division. So
Haggart, which Walpole was the leading.
But so I wouldn't say one had an easier road, but it was, I would say, both kind of the same level of competition.
You mentioned that Walpole game. That was the closest game of the season. Thanksgiving Day against Walpole, Weymouth took on, and that was a 21-6 final.
Yeah, they weren't tested right. You have four shutouts along the way, holding their opponents to 7 points, 6 points, and 3 times under 10 points in their wins, 11-0 this year.
Second down and 9 for the Trojans. 3 receivers on the far side. Short pitch to DeLulis, and we have a flag on the play.
Got a procedure call on Bridgewater-Raynham.
So Trojans will get set back 5 yards.
Offside, Bridgewater-Raynham.
Bring up a 2nd and 14.
Point to note, I think that's only the second penalty I've seen called in the game, in the first half.
It's the main thing I've noticed with BR this year as to how many flags have been thrown on the Trojans. There haven't been that many. Going back to the BR's Bavarian game, there were 2 in the entire game for both teams. McCall and Lewis on the near side. Zolga, play action, sets back, rushed by Colarusso. And this one's going to be picked off by Ozzy Colarusso. Colarusso to the 40, and will get taken out at the 33.
Yeah, that ball was just tipped up in the air. It was intended for Sean McCall, and it came up and bounced up in the air and came right down into the hands of Ozzy Colarusso.
A Colarusso family effort against Billy Zolga. You take a look here. Dillon had a clean shot at the Trojans quarterback. So instead of trying to make it what would have been a 3rd and about 20, he had to throw it away, aim for Sean McCall, and there you see the interception by Ozzy Colarusso.
Brought it back about 25 yards, too.
Minute 23 left to go in this first half. Temple rolls out to the far side. He'll keep the ball, and he'll get knocked out at the 27-yard line. Or rather, the 28-yard line, I believe, is where they're going to spot this one.
Stops the clock with a minute 16, so the Wildcats have got a plan in mind there. Off that interception by Colarusso. Ball spotted on about the 18-yard line. I'm sorry, 28-yard line. He's 2nd and about 4.
Split receivers again. Dylan Colarusso in the backfield. A minute 16 left to go. Temple rolls out, looks downfield, And Smith gets the catch and gets taken out at the, it's like the 18-yard line.
Temple's pass is complete to Bailey-Smith, driven out of bounds.
Gain of about 10 on the play.
7 of the Trojans, Cody Wood. And that is a Wildcat first down. In the Division I playoff game, Everett leads Andover 7-0 at halftime.
Preston, the announcer from the booth saying that Andover is Everett's leading Andover 7-0. It's a low score.
Temple sets back, looks downfield, getting rushed by Cody Wood, and I think he got it off before the sack. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Cody Wood with credit on the tackle at a stop.
The ball was knocked up in the air and it came down. And to Weymouth's good fortune, no Trojan was underneath it. But it stops the clock with 1:03.
Second down and 10. Ball on the Trojans' 18-yard line with Weymouth charging. Temple with a play action. Handoff to Dylan Colarusso. Colarusso still on his feet for another few yards. It looks like they'll spot this one at the 12, rather 13.
And Weymouth taking a timeout here.
Colarusso bringing the ball to the 14-yard line.
So Weymouth doing what it's done all year, riding the back of Dylan Colarusso here. Gain of about 5 on the play, sets up a 3rd and 5 with 54 seconds to go in the first half.
(22-14) our score. Still a one-possession game, so Weymouth has a chance to tie or come very close within the Trojans' score.
This is a critical 3rd down and 5 because the only way Weymouth has this ball is off the interception. So if BR can get a stop here, they'll probably go for it on 4th down, being so close, and see if they can stop that, and maybe that interception won't hurt them as bad.
Khary Bailey-Smith and Ozzy Colarusso split receivers. Temple sets back, looks downfield, aiming for Ozzy Colarusso.
There's a flag. There's a flag. Looks like it's a defensive holding or defensive interference on Brad DeLulis. Which is not what Dan Bjorn had written up in his playbook.
Defensive holding is the call.
.47 seconds left to go on this.
So they're coming back from the previous spot. Should be put the ball on about the 7-yard line.
And it will bring up a 1st and goal, so definitely not what BR wants to have Weymouth getting couple of extra shots, but closer at the end zone.
1st and goal.
Definitely what's going to hurt a team is points off turnover. BR definitely wants to prevent that right here. They had a good shot at 3rd and 5, but as you saw, the defensive holding definitely doesn't help their cause. So we got a 1st and goal from the 7 here.
The Trojans fans trying to get their team back in this. Temple with the handoff. And Dylan Colarusso gets taken out by Sean O'Donnell. Shot of the goal line by a couple of yards.
Yeah, one of the Trojans had him near the line of scrimmage, or maybe for a loss, but Colarusso used his speed to get outside.
2nd and goal. 40 seconds left to go in this second quarter.
Seems like this last 3 minutes and 53 seconds have taken all day.
Same formation again for the Wildcats. Hand off to Colarusso. And Dylan Colarusso is in the end zone.
Dylan Colarusso on the carry for the score.
Second touchdown this quarter for Colarusso. So do you still go for the PAT here and make it a 1-point game, or do you try and go for 2?
I don't know. I'd go for 2 if I were Weymouth, just to try to even up the score, because you know you're going to have to score in the second half.
And that looks like is what they're going to be doing.
Now they're calling for a timeout. They checking the play.
Weymouth didn't like what they saw from the BR defense, or
33 seconds left in this half. Dylan Colarusso, the big name for the Wildcats, 2 touchdowns, a 3-yard run that made it a 22-14 BR game. And now we're awaiting the either PAT or 2-point conversion from the Wildcats off of Colarusso's 2-yard touchdown run.
I still think they're going to go for 2 points to get the tie going into halftime and get some momentum going into the locker room.
Not a bad play. To say there's going to be scoring in the second half from 2 points down. Whether you're 2 points down, if you tie it up, tremendous momentum swing there. Because it was 22-7 with about 4 minutes to go in the period, when Weymouth has put together 2 drives with the last 3.5 minutes.
Wildcats going to stick with their decision to go for 2. Same formation as they've used all night long. Smith and Colarusso split receivers. They're going to send Ozzy into motion. Hand off to Dylan, and he's done it so far the second quarter, so why not give the 2-point conversion?
Yeah, that line just had enough push to get him the 3 yards, and he's been getting more than 3 yards at a pop with his runs earlier tonight, so we have a tie game. Whole different complexion here with just about 4 minutes to go. Trojans are leading 22-7. Now we've got a tie game, 22 all.
BR still has some time to make things happen.
Absolutely. 33 seconds is a lot of time when BR has a quarterback like Billy Zolga.
And especially with the returns they've been getting off kickoffs.
Here you see Brad DeLulis in the backfield awaiting the kick. It'll be a very low kick that Sean McCall will field. McCall to the 25, McCall to the 33. Fumble, it looked like, but I think they're going to rule McCall down. So Billy Zolga and his offense has 25 seconds left to try and get some sort of points on the board.
Yeah, when McCall was running that ball, he had it in one hand, carrying like a loaf of bread. I was worried.
For the Trojans from the 34.
Brand new ball game, 22-22. Weymouth and the Trojans in this MIAA Division 1A semifinal. Winner advances to the Super Bowl. DeLulis McCall on the far side. Zolga handoff to Morin. Morin cuts to the 35. Morin takes this one for a long distance. Taken down at the Weymouth 47. And BR calls a timeout, trying to conserve some clock.
Gain of 18 yards on the play for Branden Morin. Brings it into the Wildcat territory with 15 seconds to go.
Timeout, Bridgewater-Raynham.
We take a look at the human pinball machine that is Branden Morin, as he's just bouncing off defenders and taking advantage of the blocks that his offensive line has provided him and Nick Schlatt all season long. The way that the last few minutes of the second quarter is gone, you'd think that we're looking at the fourth quarter.
Absolutely, that's what I said. But it's like those last 4 minutes of the first half have taken an inordinate amount of time and provided a lot of points too. We've seen Weymouth come back and score 15 points in the last 4 minutes of the second quarter here at Bridgewater-Raynham.
22 points scored in the second quarter between both teams. BR came out of the first quarter with a 15-7 lead, and they had as much as a 22-7 lead, but now Weymouth has come back with 15 unanswered points. 15 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Ball being spotted on the Weymouth 48. Split receivers again, Wentworth and Morin in the backfield. Zolga sets back, looks toward the sideline to McCall. McCall, nice pitch to Morin.
Pitch and catch.
Morin looks like he's trying to aim for the sideline.
Ball is down. They called a timeout. Buron wants about 5 or 6 seconds on the clock. He was calling for a timeout, and the referee just signaled it with 2 seconds remaining.
Kind of had a feeling that the short pass was going to be thrown. If you looked at the defensive backs for Weymouth, they were a good 10 yards off from the receivers. So you kind of expected a short pass to come.
Yeah, Buron's kind of incensed because he had called when he first went down. It looked like there was about 7 seconds on the clock, and I heard him and I see him signaling for a timeout, but the referee didn't recognize it enough to give the side judge didn't recognize it fast enough to give the referee the signal, so time wound down to only 2 seconds remaining. So look for BR to have one more shot at the end zone here with 2 seconds to go, and the ball spotted on the 35-yard line.
So you can most likely get to about the 20-yard line because you have to wait for the wide receivers to get to that point. Let's take a look at this replay and try and see if we can see Dan Buron calling for the timeout. First of all, nice pitch by Sean McCall.
Yeah, pretty much the second the refs blow their whistle, you see Bjorn, he's calling for timeout immediately.
Yeah.
They're going to stick with the 2 seconds on the scoreboard right now.
So I think regardless, even if it was 7 seconds, you're not going to get 2 plays off in 7 seconds, but it gives your quarterback a little bit more to think of because the play is going to start and it's going to run and the quarter's going to end with this last play here with 2 seconds.
4 wide receivers for the Trojans. 2 seconds left in the second quarter. Zolga sets back. He'll get rushed. He'll rush out of the pocket. Looks downfield for McCall and throws it out of bounds. And we are through one half of the semifinal. Weymouth and the Trojans tied at 22.
Game-changing play. Pulls up, turnaround to win it. Got it! Welcome back to the madness.
And BR looked like was going to have an early advantage after leading by as much as 22-7. Sean McCall with a 46-yard touchdown reception. Branden Morin with a 4-yard touchdown run. And he got the 2-point conversion to bring the lead to 15-7. In the second quarter, it was Sean McCall with a 52-yard touchdown reception. 22-7 BR on top, but Weymouth would get back into things. Dylan Colarusso with a 3-yard touchdown run and a 2-yard touchdown run, and he even got the 2-point conversion. So it looks like Colarusso, as we pointed out in the early part of the game, Skip Crossman, is going to become a very key part in the second half.
Yeah, we knew he'd be a key component in the offense for the Wildcats, but we didn't expect with 3 minutes and 53 seconds to go and the Trojans leading 22-7, Weymouth to come back with some quick offense, which they did. Let's see if the Trojans can buckle down the second half. Short kick. Picked up by number 28 for Bridgewater-Raynham. Is it Arcel Armstead? Is that right? Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Number 28, Arcel Armstead with a nice run back. Nice run back of about 17, 18 yards for the Bridgewater-Raynham Trojans to start off with the ball 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line.
Sure, the Trojans would love nothing better than to get an early start on the Weymouth defense, try and make their presence be known, and try and keep the Wildcats' high-powered offense down a little bit.
At least some positive yards and some time control of the third quarter here. Zolga under center sets up. He's got 2 receivers, and Sean O'Donnell comes to reset on our side of the line. Zolga pitches to Branden Morin. He's got a little bit of an opening here. Gain of about 8 on the play. Just over the 45-yard line, but they'll spot the ball, give him 7.
Have to credit Brad Lewis with the block there, allowed Morin to try and squeeze through, get a couple of extra yards on that play.
What the Trojans want to do, start their ground game, get some positive yards, get it over into Weymouth territory and see if they can strike with one of their passes.
Well, this run offense looks like they've picked up right where they left off in the first half.
That's a good sign for the Trojans and Dan Buron. So McCall and DeLulis split to the top of the screen. Morin and Wentworth in the I formation. Zolga pitches back to Branden Morin. He's got an opening. Big yardage there. Gain of about 10 for a first down.
Just to let you know, the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association is committed to good sportsmanship. Sportsmanship, citizenship, and responsibility are trademarks of high school activities. Support school activities with your own display of good sportsmanship and help encourage America's youth to accept the responsibility which freedom demands. Support your local high school, see the future of America on display, and attend high school competitions in your community.
Well said. So with 8:33 to go in the tie ball game, the Trojans bring out 1st and 10 on the Weymouth side of the field. Ball spotted on the 46-yard line. Hand off to Chicoine. Chicoine's got some opening. Has an opening. He's breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles. Breaks it down to the 25-yard line.
That play starts with the great blocking by the offensive line. That was a huge hole for Chicoine to run through.
Absolutely. 23 yards unofficially on that run by Mike Chicoine.
Looks like when the Trojans try and get into the Wildcats secondary, it looks like the Weymouth secondary is no match for the long Mike Chicoine run or the Billy Zolga passing game.
Well, that's exactly what they did to do, get by that first line of defense, that defensive line. Who knows, maybe they're getting a little tired, I don't know, but they've had one good first half of football. Chicoine under center, behind Zolga. Morin with the run, a gain of about 5 on the play. So
Smart.
Dan Buren keeping it close to the vest, just keeping it on the ground, putting nothing up in the air. Maybe he's a little gun shy after that interception in the last quarter.
Just want to point out that at the half in the game that BR and Weymouth fans are looking at, Gloucester on top of Lincoln Sudbury 13-0, that game at the half. Remember, the winners of these two games go at it at Gillette on Saturday night.
We were saying before, Gloucester wins, it'll be a rematch of last year's Snow Bowl. DeLulis and McCall top of the screen. Wow, there's some significant holes being opened up by that offensive line of Bridgewater-Raynham.
Not only that, it almost seems like Branden Morin's also running with a chip on his shoulder, like a more emotion for him, especially with Nick Schlatt's out.
Well, he's bumping off that first line of defense. Every time he gets touched, he's rolling and spinning, and he's setting himself up for some shots there over the middle, but it's another first down. Branden Morin, good run over the left side.
First and 10 from the Wildcats 15.
As I've said throughout the season, Schlatt's is a junior, but also Morin's a junior, so you have two very great running backs coming back next year for BR.
Zolga in the center. You get O'Donnell resetting. Hand off to Chicoine, the first back. he bowls ahead for close to another first down. He's right near the 5-yard line.
It's almost like how I envisioned Mike Chicoine being used. Chicoine, not the smallest of running backs, if you will, but he definitely knows how to take it up the gut for an extra couple of yards, even if it means dragging a couple of defenders with him.
He's the power runner that's going to run over and knock down people along the ways. And for all the yardage that Branden Morin is getting, he's getting blocks on the line, but he's also getting some holes open by Mike Chicoine. 5:41 to go in the third quarter here. Bridgewater-Raynham. Pitch back to Morin. He's going to be down near the end zone. They're signaling touchdown on the other side. Boy, that was a slow signal. The referee closest to the play had nothing.
Branden Morin for the score.
So what do we have, a 4-yard run, 5-yard run by Branden Morin for the touchdown. Trojans go with their swinging gait, 5:28 to go. DeLulis set to hold for Chicoine.
Call the point after.
Oh, good. That's not a good sign. That ball had plenty of height, just off to the left.
Well, Chicoine has had kicking troubles. We saw in the game against Severian earlier this year. He missed a couple of crucial field goals, but ever since that game, he's become Mr. Clutch when it comes to PATs.
And also notice since that game, BR, after the first few touchdowns, have gone for 2 points.
Yep.
Especially at Barnstable, the first, I think, 3 touchdowns that BR got, they went for 2 after that. Even at the Brocken game, the first 2 touchdowns they got, they went for 2 after that.
At the end of the game in the Barnstable game, Bridgewater-Raynham went for 2 towards the end of the game. So,
but here's a credit Mike Chicoine on that touchdown by Branden Morin. It was Chicoine and another defender trying to create an open slot for Morin to take it in on the near side hash.
Yeah, the offensive line and Mike Chicoine did yeoman's work today in that drive there. 4 minutes and 32 seconds elapsed from that drive by Bridgewater-Raynham. Number 11 for the Weymouth Wildcats, Sean Hooley with the run back.
On the carry, number 11, Sean Hooley.
Ball spotted on the 28-yard line of the Wildcats, where they'll take over.
We've said throughout the game that 3 and out would be very crucial for the Trojans defense, but I think now more than any time it would be more crucial, as now you have about 5 minutes left to go in this third quarter. A 3 and out means you have the ball about 3 minutes left.
Hand off to Colarusso. He stopped at the line of scrimmage, or after a gain of about 1. 78, Mark McDonald, Mike Chicoine, 45, and 51, Billy Buckley in on the tackle. A gang tackling coming into play for Bridgewater-Raynham. That's not good. Mark McDonald, 2-way player for Bridgewater-Raynham, coming off Peter Smith, going to check him out. Back to pass. Shot by Temple. The throw by Temple is short, intended for Khary Bailey-Smith. Bring up a 3rd down.
Oh, Sean McCall there on the defense.
As you see Mark McDonald getting worked on, Mitch Temple reminds me almost of the quarterback that the Trojans played against on Thanksgiving, Paul Miraz. The quick 2-step drop, and then he'll throw it without even looking at where he's throwing it to. And that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. So far tonight, we've seen Temple's passes. Looks like it's leaning towards a bad thing.
Here's a critical 3rd down play, 4:39 to go, 3rd and 7. Ball spotted onto the 30-yard line. Temple back to pass, gets some pressure from Bridgewater-Raynham, strings it out. He's going to elect to run it out, and he just gets back to the line of scrimmage where it gets taken out of bounds by number 47 for Bridgewater-Raynham, Andrew Kelly.
Andrew Kelly, one of those unsung heroes that the Trojans seem to have every year. He comes up big on key stops. There were a couple of stops in the past few games that Kelly's name has been mentioned on where the Trojans really needed a big-time stop, and we see that they need one now on a 4th and about 8 yards to go.
So just what the doctor had ordered, 4:31, just about a minute, and Weymouth has a 3 and out. Now they're forced to turn it over and kick it to Bridgewater-Raynham.
Well, it looks like they're looking at the left knee of Mark McDonald, and he's been doing some drills, and he looks fine, so look for him to come back into the game.
McCall picks it up late, stopping the ball from rolling any further, and the Trojans will take over on about their own 36-yard line. So, Dan Buren, I don't know if he saw if he changed anything at halftime, but that's only the second time in the game that the Trojans have held the Wildcats to 3 and out. That's a good sign to start the second half of this game.
Well, typically BR does come out much better after halftime adjustments, and just about every game they've had a pretty good drive coming out of halftime and getting a touchdown on it.
Yeah, Weymouth has only been limited to one series where they were 3 and out in the first quarter, and since then they've had sustained drives where they've either gained a lot of ground or not come up with many points, or as we saw in the last 2 drives of the first half, coming away with 15 points.
And as Brian and myself have pointed out many times this season, the Trojans always have that period in the third quarter, fourth quarter, where they always have that long, time-consuming drive. And the Trojans haven't had the ball so far in the third quarter, except for now, obviously. But could we be looking at a long, time-consuming drive just to try and keep the ball away from the Colarusso brothers and even Mitch Temple and Khary Bailey-Smith?
Sean McCall comes split to our side of the screen. Wentworth and Morin in the backfield. DeLulis in the slot. Back to pass. DeLulis is open. Gain of about 6 on the play. Nice catch.
Number 7, Brad DeLulis.
There's a nice little underneath route there by DeLulis. They obviously, the defensive backs, they went for the deep receiver, leaving him wide open.
Sets up a 3rd and about just under 3 with 3:02 to go.
Third and 3, this is the perfect situation to have someone like Mike Chicoine in for the short 3 or 4 yard run.
Wentworth, Chicoine, and Morin in the backfield behind Zolga. Morin is stopped at first set, but looks like he's got enough for a first down. See where they spot it. Oh, that's a terrible spot. But enough for the first down. Trojans can move the ball. So with 2:30 to go, not even a measurement. I thought they'd at least give him a measurement on that.
Who cares about where he stopped, just as long as you get 4 extra downs?
Well, the strange thing is, it looks like the first down line was the 48.
And it looks like he spotted on the 47.5. So I thought the ball was short, but they've reset the change. They can't do anything about that. There'll be no instant replay today.
Maybe they just said close enough.
I would hope not in a playoff game, but who knows. Branden Morin. Fighting for yardage, gain of about 6 on the play. Minute 54 to go. So the Trojans have already used up almost 2 minutes on the clock since they got the ball from the Wildcats.
Jay Serafini on the tackle for the Wildcats. Three and a half for a first down.
McCall to the top of the screen. DeLulis in the slot with Chicoine and Morin in the backfield. Hands it off to Chicoine. He's got enough to lug ahead for the first down. Boy, Chicoine's getting those hard-fought yards right up over the middle. Draw or off tackle plays right over center.
First down.
And he's gotten positive yardage all night.
First and 10 for Bridgewater-Raynham from the 41-yard line of the Wildcats.
Chicoine and Morin becoming the smash and dash of the Bridgewater-Raynham Trojans. Morin trying to use the blocks while Chicoine just takes it right at the middle, and he'll take defenders with him if he has to.
And we've even seen Chicoine leap over one of the defenders there. So McCall and DeLulis with Chicoine and Morin in the backfield. Hand off to Morin. Positive yardage, gain of about 6 on the play. Scratch that, about 4. Ball spotted on the 43. I mean, 37-yard line.
You notice just about every run that Branden Morin's had, he's gone at least 3 or 4 yards. Even if he gets stopped at the line of scrimmage, he's fighting for those extra yards.
Second half, 7 yards, 10 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, 5 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards, 7 yards. Absolutely right, Brian. Positive yardage, and that's the end of the third quarter.
76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone.
Wentworth is coming in motion for the Trojans with the start off the fourth quarter. Mike Chicoine barrels ahead. Looks like enough for the first down. Boy, if this isn't textbook BR football, pounding the ball, chewing up the clock. Weymouth had the ball for exactly 57 seconds in the third quarter. Trojans had a run to start and finished out the third quarter with the ball in their possession.
Goes back to that second quarter that we saw on Thanksgiving morning where Brockton, I don't believe, saw the ball at all except for about 10 seconds. That one ended, and that possession ended in interception. So BR definitely playing their classic run football.
Ball spotted on the 29-30 yard line. Zolga under center. Pitches back to Morin. Morin's got an opening. Fights his way through. I tell you, there were 3. You know, I looked at that play. I see number 44 for the Weymouth Wildcats standing up looking. You know, if that's a Bridgewater-Raynham Trojan 44, he's getting his head in there and making some contact. There's no gang tackling at all by the Weymouth Wildcats.
And getting back to the point that we've made all night long, taking advantage of the blocks that your offensive line provides you. You had Sean McCall in the mix there, allowing Morin to get through for the extra 3 yards.
And pretty much all night, BR running backs have been fighting off first contact, and like I said just a few moments ago, at least getting 3, 4, even 5 yards, at least. Just BR definitely has a little bit more intensity coming out of halftime. And like Skip said, there's no gang tackling from Weymouth at all tonight.
Yeah, they're standing around. 44, as I say, no knock on the player. He's a heck of a running back, but he just stood up there while Branden Morin spun by him, and he thought at least aim for his legs or something else, and they kind of looked out of sorts there, like he didn't see the play developing or something. But Dan Bjorn takes a timeout with 8:26 to go, and the Trojans on top, 28-22.
I want to get back to the point that Brian was making about how much of a great second half improvement that the Trojans have made, not just in this game, but throughout the rest of the games this season. There's a coach that's coached for such a long time, Bill Ty. He retired this year, actually. And during one of the Thanksgiving specials, I could see in the background there was a whiteboard that said, "No second chances, give 100%. There's only 12 seniors on this Bridgewater-Raynham roster, and they're the quote-unquote dirty dozen, I guess they're being called according to the Bridgewater or the Brockton Enterprise. But they definitely are putting forth an effort that shows that they're not trying to get any second chance. And I don't know about you, Brian, but so far the running game is definitely showing 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know, this is the semifinal game, so they played in that Super Bowl last year where we all got our hearts dropped because of the way they performed. So they definitely want to get back there and especially beat Gloucester.
So the Trojans come back with 8:26 from their timeout. Wentworth and Morin in the backfield. Morin loses the handle. Looks like he gets it back. Ill-advised time for the Trojans to get slippery fingers.
I think Morin was taking advantage of Cam McLeveridge's left leg as Morin sort of tried to use that as a balancing act and scoop his arm around, trying to hold on to that football.
Go, guys.
Let's take a look and we'll see what I mean at the end, as Morin does a great job, but I don't know if it's the fact that it's cold and maybe some frost developing on the turf. That may not be likely, but you saw there.
He just lost the handle of the ball there. That's all there is to it.
He also might have been looking upfield before catching the pitch, too.
You get DeLulis on the wing with, McCall on the wing, DeLulis in the slot, Morin with the ball. Gets down near the 20-yard line where it's going to be a 4th down and less than a yard to go. 7:23 on the clock.
So the Trojans' drive in the third quarter lasted how long? About 2 or 3 minutes with this drive that they're on right now?
They had it with 4:31. They wound down the clock with 4:31.
So you're looking right now at about a 7-minute drive that the Trojans are on, and they have a chance on 4th down and about a yard to go.
Chicoine and Morin in the back. Wentworth in the backfield. It's going to be a quarterback keeper by Billy Zolga.
It looks like that's going to be enough for a first down. In fact, that is going to be enough.
Anytime those wingmen come in waving their arm to kill the clock, they've got a spot telling them that they've got a first down. So Billy Zolga comes up with a key quarterback keeper there to keep the drive alive with 6:52 to go.
Very crucial set of extra downs that the Trojans have now, because if you get the ball at the 10-yard line, you opened up many possibilities. A short screen pass to maybe Sean McCall or Brad DeLulis, or maybe a good run by Branden Morin.
So ball on the 19-yard line with 6:36 to go. DeLulis and McCall top of the screen. Zolga in the center. Hands off to Morin. Positive yardage.
Branden Morin on the carry.
Looks like he lost his helmet on that run.
Yeah, he did.
How about losing your head in the game?
Gain of about 5 on the play by Branden Morin, so continuing that positive yardage.
They have a black flashlight on the end of it. You can claim them. There are 2 keys on the
Branden Morin almost reminds me of a running back that was at BR last year, Jake Williams, how he takes up the middle. He'll try and see his way through the holes that his offensive line is trying to make. But Morin, unlike Williams, tried to reach up for the extra couple of yards. And so far tonight, that's been very crucial to the offense.
So get Zolga into center, hands off to Chicoine, the up back. He bounces off 1, 2, 3 tacklers. It's going to be a 3rd down, just going to be shy of the first down. Oh, they're calling it. They got a timeout, or the referee's timeout, so somebody's injured on the field.
Brought down by number 42 of the Wildcats, Jesse Toomey.
This is definitely an injury that the Trojans don't need. You already have Schlatt out with an injured shoulder, and you know, an injury to Mike Chicoine would definitely be crippling to the Trojans offense, the way that Chicoine has performed all night long tonight.
Absolutely, he's a defensive captain on one side of the ball, and a capable running back and blocker, and again, he's kicking their extra points too.
Looks like he's looking at the right knee, the kicking knee of Mike Chicoine. And John, like you said, definitely an injury that BR does not need, especially missing Nick Schlatt. It looks like Chicoine gets up to his feet. Actually, earlier in the game, Mark McDonald, he was banged up his left knee.
Very
That's
positive.
A good sign. Good sign because he's putting some weight on the leg as he's walking off. So maybe he took a helmet or twisted it down on the turf there, but he's coming back pretty much under his own power. With 5:37 to go, Trojans still in control. They've used almost 4.5 minutes on this drive in the 4th quarter.
So now I believe with Chicoine out, we have to see Zolga try and use his arm, go downfield, aim for Sean McCall or Brad DeLulis.
Well, don't forget, you still do have Branden Morin in the backfield. And like I said, all night he's been getting at least 3, 4, and 5 yards just shaking off first contact.
Steve Wentworth has helped out too tonight. So you see Mike Chicoine running on the sideline, He looks like he's getting the kinks out. He's ready to go back in. Morin with the ball. Down for, is that a first down? Yes.
Very crucial 1st and goal now, as you have a chance. You know, you want to try and get this in as few plays as possible, but clock at 5:07, you have a chance to wind it down possibly by about another 45 seconds to a minute.
Trojans doing exactly what they did in the game against Brockton, the Thanksgiving game. Trojans wanted to control the ball. That's what keep it out of the boxers' hands. The same thing they're doing here. Don't give it to Colarusso and Temple. Give them chances to score. 5.5 minutes off the clock so far. Trojans knocking on the door inside the 10-yard line.
Go.
It's like no yardage on that one.
Branden Morin on the carry. Ozzy Colarusso on
Ball
the
spotted
stop
on about the
from
8-yard
Wildcats.
line.
Looks like Branden Morin got a little bit lost when he was trying to find his way through the offensive line. It looked like there was a hole open down the middle, but Morin wanted to try and use the slant route, try and get to the outside or near side where the defenders are less numerous.
You might see the effect of not having Mike Chicoine blocking for you in the backfield. So Zolga sees something he doesn't like, and it's not making Dan Buron happy. He calls a timeout with 4:02 to go.
I think it's the same thing Dan Buron doesn't like. When you see the paper go off the turf, you know that something is definitely not right in the offensive scheme of the Trojans.
Well, especially since they've taken time. They had some time with the injury there to go over some plays. And you know, when Dan Buron was out on the field talking to Mike Chicoine, he had Billy Zolga on the sideline talking to John Cucinato and the rest of the BR coaches. So they were going over a game plan, and then to have to come back and burn another timeout with after 30 more seconds have elapsed. It's not the way the Trojans want to control the clock.
The Trojans can get into the end zone. This would be a very crippling blow to the Wildcats and their undefeated record of 11-0.
McCall and Delula split to the top of the screen. Wentworth and Morin in the backfield. You see Delula's coming in motion.
Like Morin got tripped up on his own 2 feet or a defender.
No, he ran into one of his own. He ran into the pulling guard, number 52. Tyler Martin was coming up to do a lead block for him, and it looks like Morin and he clicked heels, and they just went down.
Branden Morin is limping a little bit. He had a little injury in the beginning of the game. It looked like he just sort of tweaked the knee a little bit, but he came up holding the lower part of his back. So perhaps all this wear and tear, depending on number 10, might be getting to the running back.
And resumes, it'll be 3rd and goal for the Trojans.
So 3rd and goal looks, the Trojans have a couple of options here to send a receiver out to one of the wings and try to lead a pass to the end zone to either Delula or McCall. You've got your tall tight end and Sean O'Donnell there. He's been a capable receiver earlier in the game. Do you use him?
Well, you can
because right now they're clogged up towards the end zone there, and they're not getting any push there off the line.
Well, Sean O'Donnell very good at running the slant route, so you can expect O'Donnell perhaps to try and run out to the far side, and you can have 2 wide receivers on the near side. Those can be DeLulis and McCall. But I still believe with a 3rd and goal with 8 yards to go, you try and give out to Morin one more time, and then you have to go to the air.
Also, look out for a play action. BR's been using that all night, and it's been effective. So definitely, especially down here, see if they do a play action and see if they can get a defensive corner to jump.
Saw Chicoine on your screen right there. He's shaking his head. It looked like he wanted to get back in the game, but he couldn't on this play.
Zolga run to center with lead pass to Sean McCall in the end zone. Nice play. He led him through it to where only the BR player could get it. If it's going to fall down incomplete, so be it. There's not going to be an interception by You see Billy Zolga coming down the sideline here, jumping for joy. That was a great pass.
That's where knowing your wide receiver schemes comes into play if you're a quarterback. You know that Sean McCall can get to the corner of the end zone in very little time. So with that, you know the slant route's coming, and you know the 2-point conversion's coming now as Brad Lewis gets stopped and fumbles it. So looks like on that offensive drive, it's only going to be worth 6 points, but nevertheless, big point to point out here. 2 possessions, 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go.
The biggest thing the Trojans can do now is come down and really put a nail in the coffin by limiting the Weymouth Wildcats to no points or to 3 and out. But 12 points means that the Wildcats have to score twice here with 3:50 to go. And we've seen them, they scored 15 points with 3:53 to go at the end of the first half.
So you look for a squib kick here as you have Ozzy Colarusso in the backfield.
We saw him before. They kicked just beyond the first line of defense to get that ball open in the middle there. Don't kick it deep where you're going to get a return, and don't kick it short where you're going to get try with that onside kick where you're going to give them great field position. See them kicking beyond the first or second line of defense somewhere around the 30, 25-yard line where maybe one of the Trojans can come up with a loose ball.
Not really sure about that kick return from Colarusso. Colarusso had enough time and enough space to try and cut through the middle. Instead, he goes to the near side where he has 3 of his own players and 3 Trojans trying to fight for position.
You know, it's a different thing being on the field, seeing what kind of space you've got in front of you. You know, we're up here looking down on the field, and we can see everything opening up. And when you're going there, you see those defensive players converging on you. You don't have that field vision that we can see from up here.
That's why if I was on the field, I'd just go for a knee personally.
You guys notice who made that kick was Chicoine, and look who's back out there on the field, Mike Chicoine.
Weymouth going with 3 wide receivers. Temple back to pass. But he throws incomplete. That's a good sign. 3:36 to go. First play from scrimmage is incomplete. Weymouth using 3 receivers on one side and number 9 coming as a lone receiver, Cam McLevich on our side.
One flaw that BR has had in the past is playing with a lead. They know that they play a lead. They look at, or play with a lead. They look at the scoreboard perhaps a little bit too much, so they definitely need a big-time stop on this second down.
Trojan defenders need to give a little bit of pressure here. We got 2 receivers, Colarusso and Bailey-Smith on our side, and McLevich on the top of the screen. Colarusso goes in motion. Temple under center, goes back. Oh, looking for Colarusso over the middle. I think Mike Chicoine might have tipped that ball.
Yeah, definitely Mike Chicoine. He went airborne to dive and get that ball.
51, Billy Buckley and Mike Chicoine in the area of the pass where Colarusso was looking for it. And if you notice, Colarusso had a lot of open room in front of him.
3-step drop by Temple. He has more than enough time, and you said it, Skip. Fingertips by Mike Chicoine, the difference between a 3rd and goal or 3rd and 10 and a 3rd and short.
Or possibly even a long yardage run. So the Wildcats send Colarusso in motion. Temple back to pass. Incomplete. So going to their bread and butter player, Ozzy Colarusso, and Temple's pass falls incomplete. You get a 4th down and 10 with 3:26.
I don't know about you guys, but this game sort of reminds me going to a college version here. Boise State, Nevada. You have Weymouth. They have outscored their opponents by about 300-plus points. And then you have the Trojans. They have played a quote-unquote tougher schedule than Weymouth. So perhaps the Trojans come more battle-tested, more battle-ready than the Weymouth Wildcats, which we're seeing here in the 4th quarter.
Biggest play of the night for the Trojan defense here. 3 wide receivers, 2 on our side. Dan Buren decides to play a little mind game here and call a timeout with 3:26 to go.
Smart move by Weymouth entering the backfield. You know you have to get 10 yards on this play or game over.
This the fourth play in the row where they've abandoned the run and gone to the pass, and 3 passes incomplete. I mean, credit the Bridgewater-Raynham defensive line with creating some pressure, but their defensive backs were all over the receivers. There was one open pass, but that was overthrown to the Ozzy Colarusso there on the far side of the field. That was enough for a first down, too.
Of course, the Trojans looking for a rematch against the Gloucester Fishermen in the Super Bowl. Gloucester, well, right now we just have the halftime score, so we don't really know what the score is in Lincoln right now. But if the scores hold up, then we could be looking at a rematch.
We'd take a first-time matchup against Lincoln Sudbury too, wouldn't you? Just to get back there. I wouldn't care who they play, but you're right. The Fishermen come back in, and they've got a real balanced program. The Lincoln Sudbury team coming out of that dual county league has beaten some formidable opponents, West Silver Academy and Acton Barksboro, our old nemesis. 4th and 10 for the Trojans. For the Wildcats. 3:26 to go on the clock. Temple back to pass. Sprints out. It's a wobbly pass. If he caught it, it's.
I think it was still short by a couple of inches.
Oh,
They gave him the catch, but
They gave him
looking
the
at
catch.
that spot, he is short.
He's short. Absolutely, Brian.
You didn't see, I believe it was Sean McCall that was in on the stop. You didn't really see him try and use a forceful effort.
Well, you know.
Let's take a look here. You see Temple has more than enough time to get the throw off to the far side. And
Bailey-Smith caught the ball, but
that might have been a friendly call from the referees.
Well, yeah, it looked like he was right on that hash mark there. But when he gained control of the ball, he was a yard back. That's where the referee is spotting the ball. So the Trojans dodge a big bullet there. Bailey-Smith coming up just short with the reception, and Trojans now take over with 3:18, and really, they control the ball the rest of the way. They can control the game.
And that looks like that might be pretty much game if BR can run out the clock, as you can tell from the traffic leaving Bridgewater-Raynham. It's out on a lot of people.
Well, it's either traffic from the game or traffic because school's over.
Night school, I guess. Branden Morin with a carry. Timeout called by the Weymouth Wildcats. So 3 incomplete passes and a completion for 9 yards. And the tail of the tape there, 2 3-and-out series for Bridgewater-Raynham. One in the first and the third quarter. The second one with 3:26 to go. And Weymouth getting the ball and not having much success. Couldn't have asked for a better defensive stand by Bridgewater-Raynham, limiting Weymouth to 2 series.
And every drop back you saw in that, I believe the quarterback rolled out to his left the entire time. I don't think they even tried the middle or the right side.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what the play calling was? They thought they obviously had some space on that side of the field. They came up empty. What's up, Ray? 34-22.
So it looks like BR is on their way back to Foxborough with a 34-22 lead, 3 minutes and 11 seconds. And there you see the traffic. Most of them, I believe, will be taking a trip down Route 18 to Weymouth, perhaps hanging their head. As Dan Biron is continuing to wind the clock down, or attempting to wind the clock down. Of course, Weymouth still has a lot of timeouts left to go here, so the game definitely not over.
Zolga scrambles out to his right, to his left, goes ahead. He's going to slide a la Tom Brady and not risk any injury because he might have another game to play.
And Weymouth does take another timeout, stopping the clock at exactly 3 minutes.
Positive yardage for Billy Zolga. You get 3rd and about 5. Gain of 2 on the play.
Timeout, Weymouth Wildcats.
Very important 3rd down here. If you get a first down, game over, game set match. Most likely as you hand the ball off to Morin, and Weymouth is using their timeouts. But if BR can't get any hay on this one, then you have to try and open up the passing game again of Zolga, and Zolga is very good when it comes to those screen passes. And he doesn't make a lot. We talked about in the past, he makes about 5, 6, 7, or 8 passes a game, and that's very good for a quarterback, as that really creates the illusion of what is a team going to do, run or pass. And when you have a good play-action quarterback like Billy Zolga, it's very important.
You only need Billy Zolga to make one pass or one combination run pass for 6 yards to seal the game for Bridgewater-Raynham. 3 minutes straight up, 3rd and 6, ball spotted on the 35-yard line. So we don't need to see 20 or 30 yards in the play. We need to see 6 or 7 to get a first down.
No, Chicoine's not in the game now. Wentworth is in at fullback.
Handoff to Morin, up over center. Driving, more yardage. He's got a first down. That's a first down.
Who else would you expect? Branden Morin, it's been about his legs all night tonight, running the ball. And so why not get that oh-so-sweet first down with under 3 minutes left to go?
And that is
Trojans first down, 2:51. You know, it gets down under 2 minutes. The Trojans, all they got to do is, if they have 3 plays, take 3 knees and they'll end the game. But there's still plenty of time, and we saw Weymouth, when they got the ball, come back with quick strike offense here.
Weymouth, I believe, has 2 timeouts left to go.
So Trojans using a lot of time here. You see the referee, the back judge, giving his signal. There's less than 10 seconds to go. Procedure called on Zolga. He saw the time. He saw the referee, the back judge, winding down the time under 10 seconds, and he moved his foot before he received the snap. 2:22, another 20 seconds wound off the clock, and it's the 1st and 15.
So let's say that this matchup holds up. Skip, you and I were at the game last year. If this is indeed a Fisherman-Trojan rematch, is BR equipped with the right weapons to take on Gloucester in a more evenly balanced running game?
The Fishermen don't have that big running back. That's the main thing. Zolga under center. Wentworth with the ball. Boy, the Weymouth, now they come up with gang tackling with 2:15 to go, trying to strip the ball out of their hands, out of the Trojan running back's hands.
It's a desperate team. Weymouth, as I pointed out a couple of times, they haven't really been battle-tested, and they haven't really competed in many close games. The closest game was 15 points. Let's take a look here. As we see Wentworth with the ball, looks like number 9 on the play, Cam McLevich, is trying to rip it away, along with about 3 or 4 other defensive players.
Yeah, that was a gang tackling effort, and you saw them just ripping at Wentworth's hands, but he held on to the ball. Minute 39, 2nd and 12. Hands off to Morin. He's got some room.
Branden Morin on the carry.
John, to go back to your point, the Weymouth schedule, they don't, not a really outstanding schedule. Like you said, the closest game they had was 15 points.
Walpole, it was 21-6 on Thanksgiving morning.
I definitely think, like we said way earlier, the league schedule is kind of the same, but the out-of-league schedule, BR won that hands down. They had to play Zavarian, they had to play Plymouth North, they had to play Duxbury and Brockton. Those are 4 ranked teams right there, so I definitely think the out-of-league...
the New Bedford Marshfield are no easy shots either.
New Bedford and Duxbury. Duxbury's already on their way to the Super Bowl.
Morin with another run. He slices through. He's going to have a first down. No, he's shy of the first down. He's with 42 seconds to go. It's really academic at this point. It'll be a 4th down and less than a yard to go for the Trojans. Zolga coming away from Dan Buron, but there's 27 seconds and the clock is running.
Maybe one more quick running play to Branden Morin, and that is all.
If they get the first down, the game's over. Zolga's going to run ahead for the first down.
Not your everyday knee, and Billy Zolga is pumped.
You know the smart move. You don't risk a transfer of the ball. He gave it to Billy Zolga. He's got positive yardage all night. 9 seconds to go. That's the end of the game, folks, and they're going to have the Trojans come away with a 34-22 victory here. Heads up play, not transferring the ball. He needed less than a yard to go. Zolga had a quarterback keeper early in the play. He had a run to our side, always for positive yardage.
And just like that, the Bridgewater-Raynham Trojans, for the second straight year, going back to Foxborough, going back for revenge possibly in the Super Bowl.
Does anybody know the matchups and the times for the Super Bowl games?
Well, I believe for the Division 1A game, it's, for some odd reason, it's the last game of the night. It's right after the Division 1 game. I don't know why they do that, so I think that's going to be a 7:30 or 8 o'clock start for the Division 1A Super Bowl.
Well, depending on when you are watching this, you can watch the game live on TV 38, and they'll most likely be streaming it on the radio. I believe still on 98.5, but nevertheless, the BR Trojans definitely a very interesting team to watch, and I'm going to be very interested to see how they play compared to last year's team against the Fishermen.
Oh, definitely. And this team right here today was a very much more determined team. Played with a chip on their shoulder, especially Branden Morin. He really ran with a purpose today. He felt like he needed to prove to us that he can still be a top-notch running back even without Nick Schlatt.
Tail of the tape. Trojans scored twice in the second half, come away with no extra points, but again, limit the Weymouth Wildcats to 3 and out in the third quarter and 3 and out in the fourth quarter. Control of the whole second half by Bridgewater-Raynham with a tremendous ground game and doing exactly what Dean Buron did in some of his other successful wins against Brockton and the other teams, controlling the ball on the field and controlling the clock.
So again, you can watch the game live on TV 38, but we will also have a special feed. You'll have us three calling the game. It's kind of fun for us to do here at BTV. Go to Gillette Stadium, use the craft production equipment. It's definitely a fun experience for players and TV crew.
And the lush tropical surroundings of those press boxes is unbelievable. Not to rival Bridgewater-Raynham, which has done good tonight.
Definitely want to thank everyone behind the scenes, on camera, inside our truck, and everyone who's helped out all season long. For Skip Crossman, Brian Berard, I am John Luck. Good night from BR.